are you today? This is Joshua Youngs with Medicare Peace of Mind, and today I'm going to talk about the 5 most common mistakes that I see somebody that's new to Medicare make. The number one thing that I see happen is someone gets overwhelmed with the process. And so when you're somewhere in the range of 9 months out, so 9 months before you're going to turn 65, your phone calls, your mailbox, everything starts to get higher and higher pressure. Technically, there's supposed to be no unsolicited contact for Medicare Advantage or prescription drug plans. However, those doesn't apply for general education for Medicare or for Medicare supplements. And so there's some gray areas in there, and you may start to get phone calls, and they will ramp up more and more the closer you get to your initial enrollment window. And so it's an overwhelming process. The phone calls happening day after day after day, not wanting to answer the phone, not wanting to look at the mail. The mailbox gets full every day. Everyone's claiming to be perfect. It's all sales jargon, so you hear nothing but the positives. They don't send out the negatives. And so it's an overwhelming process. A lot of folks that I've talked to have given up on some level once they get to a certain point, and they just randomly pick something. I've seen people lay stuff out on the floor and throw a dart in the air. I've heard it all. Over the years in doing this. And so what you don't want to do is get overwhelmed. You want to find a solution to that problem, which would be find someone that you can trust to guide you, that removes the anxiety, that removes all of the painful part of the process. If you can find someone you can trust that just guides you through the process, that's literally the peace of mind aspect of the insurance process. And where you get to that point where you feel comfortable with what you have is to know that you've evaluated all the options. And so the overwhelming part is when you get to Medicare, especially in a big county, say like Denver County, Denver metro area, something like that, you're going to have 30 plus plans to look at on the Medicare Advantage side, plus 5 to 10 extra without drug card. You're going to see 27 standalone drug cards. You're going to see a litany of Medicare supplement plans on every type of option, plan A through N and F and G and high F and K and L. You're going to hear it all. And so there's a whole litany of options. The buffet of choices can be an overwhelming process for many folks as well. And so again, number 5 thing I see is getting overwhelmed. Number 4 is researching plans instead of researching your help. And so I see a lot of people say, I've done all this research, I've looked at this, I've looked at that, I feel like I have a reasonable feeling on it. But if they had a reasonable feeling on it, if you have a reasonable feeling on it, you wouldn't be watching a video like this. You wouldn't be exploring to find more information. That's the idea of a reasonable handle on it, is you don't need any additional help or guidance. And so the point of what I'm saying is most people spend a lot of time researching on Medicare.gov or researching on the online or putting in requests and having people call them and talking to people on the phone and looking at the mail, trying to gather information. What I recommend you research is help. Look for the research on the help. So if you're going to hire a lawyer, hopefully you go do some research on what lawyer that you're going to use. A lot of people use word of mouth. That could be an effective tool. In addition to word of mouth, I would go above and beyond that and recommend using the BBB. It's a great program. Use accredited businesses only. What that does is the accredited businesses hold themselves and agree to be held to a higher standard of ethical conduct. And also on the resolution side, they agree to help resolve conflicts and stuff. Because in business and in life, conflicts are going to occur. The key is to have a relationship with somebody that can help resolve that kind of stuff in an effective manner. And so research, do BBB checks, ask around, look for reviews. Just seeing someone has a BBB profile is half the battle. See if they have reviews, see if they have complaints. If they have reviews, go through and read them. Get an idea of what your experience will be like. The good thing about the BBB is they do verify that it is a credible source, someone that's actually had an interaction with the business, good, bad, or indifferent. So that's my number 4 mistake I see people to make, is to research the plan, not the help that you're going to receive. Number 3 mistake is it's a fine line when you're making this decision of letting it become an emotional decision versus a fiduciary decision. A fiduciary decision means you're making the decision based on what's best for your money, what's best for your financial side of what protects you best financially. The emotional side is things like, I want to keep seeing the same hospital or using the same doctors or seeing the same other things. There are more than one doctor. I do agree with the principle of keeping conduct of care and the model of care the same if possible. However, there are situations where your doctor may have made a business decision, whether that's where they work or what company they're aligned with. That company has made a decision what companies they do work with or don't work with as far as networks, whether they accept Medicare, if they accept assignment, do they charge excess charges. There's a lot of variables that go into the business decision side of making this choice as far as what coverage you're going to have. And so it's very important to have a balance, in my opinion, of both the emotional side and the fiduciary side blended to find what's best for you, not what's best for the insurance companies, not what's best for the doctors, but at the end of the day, you want what's best for you and your family to protect both what you are comfortable with, as well as combine that with protecting your financial nest egg that you've built up and saved for. A lot of folks I help are on a fixed income, and so making a mistake in that category can be costly. Number two mistake I see is trusting unqualified advice. And this could be, you might seem like it would be a qualified source, but again, it goes right back to what I was just talking about. Potentially your doctor's office, asking someone in that staff. They are a biased opinion, and it's not necessarily always going to be biased towards you. They're going to give you their opinion on what makes their job easier, what makes them more money. That's natural human instinct. What's best for you, you need to really evaluate all of the options and, again, have that balance of emotional and fiduciary on making that. So, again, I don't recommend taking any coverage advice, not from your friend, your neighbor, your brother, your sister, any of that kind of stuff. What coverage might be right for you might be different than what's right for them or right for somebody else. I see it a lot. Even in the same household, folks that I help will end up on this different coverages, even though they live in the same house, eating the same food, breathing the same air. Needs are different, doctors are different, prescriptions are different, life is different for most folks. And so it's important to not trust unqualified advice. Find someone who's licensed, certified, and contracted, not with one carrier, if possible, all the carriers. A true broker will offer you an opportunity to just kind of get to know the person. If you trust them, then they can give you an unbiased opinion towards you, or twisted and a biased opinion towards what's best for you instead of what's best for someone else. And so that's my number two mistake I see people make, is trusting unqualified advice to make their final answer decision, so to speak. Number one mistake I see often is trying to complete the process alone. It kind of combines the rest of the other mistakes into one in some respects, because there's variables of becoming overwhelmed. There's variables of doing too much research on the wrong thing. Variables of getting advice from the wrong sources. Those are all variables that go into completing the process alone. For me, I used to believe that I run this fine line of overeducating and empowering someone to make a decision by themselves. And then they would, in essence, circumvent me, and then you get cut out of the deal. How someone like a broker like me makes their living is not from you. You don't pay someone like me directly. My help, my assistance, my guidance, everything, my expertise, my knowledge is free of cost to you. How it works is whatever insurance company is best for you, I try to work with all of them so that when it happens, I get paid by the insurance company. And a broker would get paid by the insurance company. And so the decision-making process is not the difficult part. A lot of people feel that way because it's overwhelming. They have so many choices, all of this. And the humblest opinion I have, where someone like me, a broker, really earns their value and proves their worth, is after your coverage starts, and then year after year to help you reevaluate for changes in your prescriptions, your doctors, your situation, financially. There's a lot of changes that can happen. Changes in the doctor networks, changes in the plan you're on as far as benefits and coverages, and then just overall being there. If you have a problem with a claim, if you have a problem with benefits, if you don't understand how this works or that works, or what doctors can you go see for your vision benefit, or any of those kind of things, that's where a true broker is going to prove their value, is after your coverage starts, so that you can basically have a tour guide, a first point of contact, not an 800 number to call, but you have a perfect point of contact to help you navigate all the complexities of the Medicare world, which on the street as a consumer, it can be a very overwhelming process. Everyone's going to give you a different angle, a different perspective. What I encourage you to do is find someone that treats you like they're your family, treats you like a human being that's making a critical decision. When you're new to Medicare, it's an overwhelming process. It's everything that you hear about, and then it happens. Most people think it's not going to happen to me, I can figure this out, and the deeper you dive into it, the more confused you get. That's my biggest piece of advice. Don't complete the process alone. Find someone you can trust. And again, thank you for your time. I hope you enjoyed this video. If there's any other topics or anything you'd like to have, please send me a message. Get help at MedicarePeaceOfMind.com is a great place to start the process of getting the information that you need. And so thank you again for your time, and I look forward to having you watch another video. Thank you. Bye-bye.